Keith Sweat is an American R&B soul, singer-songwriter, record producer, actor, radio personality, and an innovator of New Jack Swing. Biography: Keith Sweat was born in Harlem, New York to Juanita Sweat, a hairdresser, and Charles Cryer, a factory worker. Juanita raised their 5 children alone after Cryer's death. He worked as a night stock boy at Macy's and then a mailroom clerk at Paine Webber. In just 4 years he worked his way up to a lucrative brokerage assistant job on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Sweat worked for the commodities market in the New York Mercantile Exchange. Sweat sang at nightclubs throughout New York City until he was discovered and offered a recording contract with Elektra Records in 1987. He has 3 daughters. He named his record label, Kyria Entertainment, after his younger daughter. From 1992 until 2002, he was married to Real Housewives of Atlanta co-star Lisa Wu Hartwell. With her, he had 2 sons, Jordan and Justin. Music career equals 1975 a Euro 1984, with Jamila Sweat started his musical career as a member of a Harlem band called Jamila in 1975. With the help of Jamila, Sweat was able to hone his craft as a lead singer by performing regionally throughout the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey and Connecticut. The group was started by bassist Larry Peoples, guitarist Michael Samuels, and drummer Walter Bradley. Additional members of the group included Peter Da Costa, Joseph McGeechee, Dwight Banks, and Kenneth Varner. 1984 a Euro 1987, Stadium Records After leaving the group in 1984 to begin a solo career, he sang at nightclubs throughout New York City and landed a chance to record for the independent label, Stadium Records. Sweat recorded only one tune for Stadium called My Mind Is Made Up, which was their 3rd ever release, but on Stadium's first release, he is credited as co-writer and co-producer of You Are the One for Me, the last recording ever made by the group GQ. One of GQ's original members is his uncle, Keith Sabu Cryer. 1987 a Euro 1993, the New Jack Swing era Later in 1987, Keith Sweat was discovered by Vincent Davis and offered a recording contract with his label, Vintertainment Records, which was founded in 1983 on the foundations of early hip-hop and otherwise best known for releasing Joe Esky Loves Pee-wee Dance in 1985. Vintertainment was distributed by Elektra Records from 1985 until it ceased operations in 1990, in which case Elektra opted to buy Keith's contract outright and have him record directly for the label. On November 25, 1987, Sweat released his debut solo studio album Make It Last Forever, which sold 3 million copies. The biggest hit from this album was the song that inaugurated the New Jack Swing era, I Want Her, which was nominated for the 1989 Soul Train Best R&B Urban Contemporary Song of the Year award, while the title track from the album hit number 2 on the R&B charts. Sweat reached the charts again with his second album I'll Give All My Love to You, which hit number 6 on the Billboard 200 chart. He released his 3rd album, Keep It Comin' in 1991, which debuted in the top 20 of the album chart. Sweat then moved from New York to Atlanta, where he founded the Kyria Records label that would feature silk and cut clothes. 1994 a Euro 2001, the Still in the Game era Sweat released his 4th album Get Up On It in the summer of 1994, and his self-titled 5th album in 1996. Both albums reached a top 10 on the Billboard 200. The single, co-produced and written by Eric McCain, Twisted featuring R&B group Cut Close, hit number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and Nobody hit number 3, which made them Sweat's biggest hits to date. The song Just a Touch, with Tracy Hale providing background vocals, has earned a regular spot on radio playlists. Just a Touch was a cover of the 1979 song Just a Touch of Love by Slave. Sweat's 6th album, Still in the Game, was released in 1998, hitting number 6 on the Billboard 200, and number 2 on the R&B hip-hop albums chart. It featured the singles Come and Get With Me, and I'm Not Ready. Sweat's success on the charts started to diminish in 2000, when he released the album Didn't See Me Coming. none of the singles from the album reached the top 40. They were moderate hits on the Hot R&B hip-hop singles and tracks chart. 2002 A Euro present, The Rebirth Era. On August 13, 2002, Keith Sweat released his 8th album, Rebirth. The single One on One reached number 75 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 44 on the Hot R&B hip-hop singles and tracks chart. His 2008 album Just Me fared better, with its first single, Love You Better, being played on urban radio stations for about a year before the album's release. Sweat is currently signed to Kida Records and released his 10th studio album entitled Ride-In Solo on June 22, 2010. The lead single taken from the album is Test Drive, and featured label-mate Joe. Since 2007, Sweat has been the host of a nationally syndicated radio program based upon the Quiet Storm format. The Keith Sweat Hotel is syndicated through Premier Radio Networks. Copyright GAR Copyright S. In 1992, Sweat discovered the group Silk, and helped craft their debut album, Lose Control, which hit number 7 on the Billboard 200 album chart. The album's single Freak Me hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 on May 1, 1993. In 1993, Sweat discovered the Atlanta-based female R&B group Cut Close. Sweat also produced the group's debut album Surrender, which produced their biggest hit single I Like, peaking to number 8 on the Hot R&B hip-hop singles and tracks chart. In the fall of 1997, Sweat discovered the group Old School and helped with their self-titled debut. He was on their biggest single, Am I Dreaming, which featured R&B group XSCAPE. Sweat also formed the R&B supergroup LSG with Gerald Levert and Johnny Gill, and released their self-titled debut Levert Sweat Gill in 1997. That album featured My Body, which became a hit single. The album was certified double platinum and reached number 4 on the US Billboard 200. Discography: Make It Last Forever, Vintertainment and Elektra Records, I'll Give All My Love to You, Vintertainment and Elektra Records, Keep It Comin', Elektra Records, Get Up On It, Elektra Records, Keith Sweat, Elektra Records, Still in the Game, Elektra Records, Didn't See Me Coming, Elektra Records and Rhino Entertainment, Rebirth, Elektra Records, Just Me, Kyria Records and Atco Records, Ride-In Solo, Kida Entertainment and Universal Music Group, Till the Morning, KDS Entertainment and E1 Music. Awards and nominations: American Music Awards, 1998, Favorite Male R&B Soul Artist, nominated, 1997, Favorite Male R&B Soul Artist, 1997, Favorite R&B Soul Album, Keith Sweat, 1991, Favorite R&B Soul Male Artist, 2013, Soul Train Lifetime Achievement Award. References. External links: Official website, Keith Sweat Artist page at vh1.com, Keith Sweat Artist page at AllMusic, Keith Sweat at the Internet Movie Database, Keith Sweat SoulRnB.com Group, Keith Sweat 2010 audio interview at soulinterviews.com.